T4 would be us.
Yeah, at your service.
Yeah.
That's right, the weekends wouldn't be complete without a whole lot of loving from the T4 family.
Great.
Rubbing shoulders with the creme de la creme in the celebrity world.
I always like being on T4.
Yeah.
Playing out the biggest music mix to bring you the latest in everything cool.
High five?
Yeah.
That's just what we do.
T4, 100% guaranteed to make your life better.
You stay with us, all right? We're in this thing together!
Okay.
If you ever miss Ugly Betty, catch up on the latest episodes with Gore on demand, available through digital TV and online. Go to channel4.com/4OD.
We need to wake up and smell the ice melting. And it's not enough to just think, oh, it's sad about the Arctic, isn't it? And the rising sea levels. There's nothing I can do about it, because of course there is. It's not even difficult. Small, simple changes in our lives can help.
Why not give yourself a Christmas treat with the KFC Deluxe Boneless Box? 8 pure breast mini fillets, popcorn chicken, large sides, fries and a Pepsi. The KFC Deluxe Boneless Box. The one treat you can unwrap before Christmas.
Lip color that doesn't last? It stops here. Super Stay from Maybelline, New York. This is lip color that's made to stay the day. Our two-step formula combines radiant color with super conditioning for a look that looks like you've just put it on.
For up to 16 feel-good hours.
Super Stay lip color.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
The sidewalk is your catwalk. Maybelline, New York. Official makeup sponsor of Close Show Live.
Helen, your son is calling you again.
There's an easier way to make a call when your mobile phone is out of credit. Just dial 0800 reverse.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Welcome back to T4 Sunday. It's time now for a very special and important programme involving Rick Edwards and June Sarpong. Get ready. June, what is T4's global warming all about? Let us in.
Well, I mean, we all know that global warming is probably like the biggest threat facing the planet today. But what is good about it is, you know, obviously we talk about the problems, but we do also offer positive solutions.
Okay, so...
And we get a bit of eco-fashion in there, too.
Of course we do.
You like that?
Of course we do. What part does June play apart from being a fashion icon?
Apart from doing the bit of shopping, eco-shopping, I spent some time with Al Gore.
See, now, I would be impressed, but, you know, to be fair, not the first world leader you've interviewed, you know what I mean? So does it get a bit like, whatever?
You know, Makita, you've done one, you've done them all, you know.
Have you done Nelson Mandela?
Yeah.
Oh, God, well, whatever. Here's T4's global warming.
Igo by Toyota sponsors T4.
25 years ago, Channel 4 was born. The 80s was the hottest decade since records began. And back then, we had no idea that this was just the beginning of climate change. Over the next hour, we'll travel from the equator to the North Pole via the UK High Street to see just what's happening to our planet and what we can do to help. and welcome to T4's Global Warning. When Channel 4 was born in 1982, very few people watching had even heard of global warming. Now, 25 years later, the vast majority of the world's scientists and governments agree that the Earth's temperature is rising, and we're all starting to realize the real impact of climate change. Terms like carbon footprint have become part of everyday language. Hybrid cars have hit the streets, and every household in the UK has access to recycling. But this is just the start. We all have to act now if we want to save our planet. Do you want to find out how each and every one of us can help change the future course of history? Stay right here. Rick Edwards travels to Mali in West Africa and takes a bumpy ride in a very small plane to try and create some much-needed rainfall with a modern-day rainmaker.
So you can select one of those clouds. No, this fella. No. How about this guy? I don't think so. No.
I get to meet the ex-US Vice President, Nobel Peace Prize and Oscar winner, Al Gore.
The goal line is to push the whole world past a point of awareness and commitment so that we actually do solve this crisis.
Plus, I take a look at sustainable fashion to find out if green really is the new black. This is my favourite. I think it's my favourite in the whole collection.
It's cute, isn't
It's cute, huh? But first, here's what happened when this man ventured deep into the Arctic Circle to meet a group of teenagers on a trip of a lifetime. They were chosen by the charity Cape Farewell to witness climate change firsthand.
You may notice that I am wearing a particularly fetching all-in-one camo jumpsuit.
Yeah.
In my defence, it was really cold. I'm here in Longyearbyen, the capital of my favourite group of Norwegian islands, Svalbard. It really is a terrific little group of islands. Longyearbyen also has the distinction of being the most northerly town in the world. It is really north. What that means?
When we think of global warming here in the Arctic, we usually picture struggling polar bears and melting ice caps. But most of us will never actually see with our own eyes these signs of the world's problems. However, for 12 lucky teenagers, first-hand experience is exactly what they're going to get, because they're about to embark on the journey of a lifetime. They've been hand-picked from schools across Germany, Canada and the UK by a charity dedicated to raising awareness about climate change. Before leaving for the freezing Arctic, they all met up for the first time in London, where I caught up with some of them.
When I got chosen, I just felt absolutely amazed. I couldn't really believe it, and I started crying.
I was ecstatic when I was chosen. I was literally speechless, and it was just an incredible feeling.
I expect there will be fights, so there'll definitely be people falling out, but it's not for too long.
It is our future, and we do need to understand that.
I'm just looking forward to getting out, and I really, really want to see a polar bear. I love polar bears.
A week ago, the Cape Farewell team set sail from here on their Arctic expedition, which I wasn't allowed to go on because there wasn't enough room.
Their journey's taking place on the Norderlicht, a 100-year-old sailing schooner, on which they'll all have to live and work together. Each one has been selected to investigate and report back to their communities the effects they see for themselves of climate change. The Arctic is one of the most sensitive places in the world to climate change, and temperatures are rising twice as fast as the world's average, with devastating effects.
What happens here has the potential to endanger people who live on coasts around the world. In 25 years' time, London, New York, Shanghai, Tokyo, I could go on, Mumbai, could find Jakarta, could find themselves partially underwater. And over 600 million of us live in these threatened coastal areas.
Over 99% of the world's population lives south of here. Yet it's that 99% who have been one of the main contributors to the ice getting thinner and melting away. Satellite images taken since 1979 show an ever-decreasing amount of permanent ice in the Arctic Ocean, with 2007 hitting an all-time low. Scientists from around the world have been studying the Arctic to gauge just how big an impact global warming has had in the last quarter of a century. And our intrepid explorers are conducting experiments to observe it for themselves. From examining marine life to measuring the receding glaciers.
In May, the stake was 107 centimeters below the surface.
So you can see like that much.
That's when the glacier ice was here, and the glacier ice has melted by that much.
To producing art projects to help them make sense of it all.
Balance. It's balance between science and the arts, which is basically what this whole project's about.
But it hasn't all been work, work, work. That's freezing water. What are you doing? Who's in charge here?
Oh yeah! Come on! Come on!
We're going to the hot tub, baby.
Oh my God, it hurts!
So basically they've had a whale of a time and now they're on their way back. Look, that's them there, on that boat. Hope they're not expecting me to join their Arctic swimming club. I mean, I would, obviously, but I didn't pack my Speedos. I can't wait to catch up with them, and I imagine they're pretty excited about seeing me too. I want to find out what life was really like on the boat. The highs, the lows, the ups, the downs, the ports, the starboards, the norths. You get the idea.
So what was Longyearbyen like then?
Well, and impossible to pronounce, I still can't say it. But because it's so isolated and so northerly, it's quite eerie. And the landscape's so big, it's intimidating.
Yeah.
And because it's the most northerly town in the world, it's also got the most northerly disco in the world, which we went to. We had a good time.
I thought you were supposed to be working.
We were working hard, playing hard.
Anyway, after the break, I will be talking to Nobel Peace Prize winner Al Gore.
And I will be catching up with our Arctic explorers as they return to port.
Save energy and money. Wash your clothes in cooler water and dry them the old-fashioned way. Invest in a clothesline.
Igo by Toyota sponsors T4.
Why not give yourself a Christmas treat with the KFC Deluxe Boneless Box? 8 pure breast mini fillets, popcorn chicken, large sides, fries and a Pepsi. The KFC Deluxe Boneless Box. The one treat you can unwrap before Christmas.
So, from the quarterly figures, we see that
the more I see you, the more I want you.
If you've only got one thing on your mind before lunch, you should try new Special K Sustain.
Just girls and girls.
Delicious new Special K Sustain contains protein and fibre. See if it can keep you satisfied for longer. New Special K Sustain. It's called special for a reason.
Love is in the air. Everywhere I look around. And I don't know if I'm being foolish. Don't know if I'm being wise. But
in the end, it's not about the glamour or the glitz. It's not about how many presents you've bought. It's not about all those decorations you spend hours putting up. It's about the things that are far more important. Happy Christmas from Waitrose.
Broadband without the hassle from £10 a month. Fresh on 3.
Do you enjoy looking after babies? Then grab your DS and become these babies' favourite babysitter. Make them love you as you dress them, feed them, comfort them, and play with them all day. Imagine babies on Nintendo DS.
2 new fragrances. Hugo XY for him, Hugo XX for her. Harmony is overrated.
Buy a Philips aluminium juicer and get a free copy of the best-selling recipe book by Jason Vale, The Ultimate Juice Master.
Where's shopping mall? There's shopping mall. Things that are small, pops big and tall. Where's Chinese food? There's Chinese food. Spicy chicken wing, chicken almond ding. Ding dong. Traffic's a mess. There's no distress. Find a new way with no delay. Bluetooth is on. Call the salon. Need a waxing now. Got a unibrow. Give a Garmin. Give a Garmin. Screen clear and wide. Whole world inside.
Welcome back to St. Trinian's.
The worst school in the country.
All new girls.
Yes, now you're talking.
Oh my God. The headmistress. She's worse than the children.
Snooty cow.
Emily Snooty Cow. Do remember to stretch.
Up to their old tricks. St. Trinian's.
You wouldn't know the way to the hockey pitch, would you?
You don't ask for help in America, you demand it. Trick or treat, you don't ask, you threaten.
You can't do that in our street.
Why not?
Because you can't threaten drug addicts and transvestites, that's why.
What is transvestites?
From the director of My Left Foot, the network TV premiere of In America, tonight at 10 on Channel 4, and an hour later on 4+1.
Igo by Toyota. Sponsors T4.
Hi guys, you've got to remember every time you leave your mobile phone charger plugged in the wall, it's drawing energy whether your phone is plugged in or not. So unplug.
Welcome back to T4's Global Warning. Climate change is one of the biggest threats to our planet because what happens today could have huge consequences for future generations. Lately, one man has made it his mission to bring awareness of global warming to the masses. And that man is former Vice President of the United States, Al Gore. His Oscar-winning movie, An Inconvenient Truth, has been seen by millions of people around the world. And in October, he was awarded a Nobel Peace Prize for his work. I met up with him earlier this year to talk about what effect global warming could have on us right here in the UK. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you here.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Now, I think the first question that we have to ask is how does climate change affect the United Kingdom?
Well, the United Kingdom, as every other nation, is potentially affected in an extremely significant way. Yeah. And already you are seeing some plants and animals affected. Spring is effectively coming earlier. The prediction is for more and more severe heat waves, changes in precipitation patterns, more flooding, more drought, depending upon the speed with which change could occur on either Greenland or West Antarctica or both. Sea level rise could be quite significant, but these and other consequences are ones that are predicted here and elsewhere unless we take action.
There are so many things that we do in our everyday lives. How do we change that so that we then behave in a much more globally and environmentally friendly way?
We have changed the kind of impact we as a species have.
Because there are so many of us.
Partly because of that, and the second reason that's in some ways even more important is the technologies we use now are thousands of times more powerful than the ones our grandparents used. And we used to be in balance with the earth more. We used an amount of energy each year equivalent to what was harvested from solar energy, basically, until we began to dig the coal and the oil and the other fossil reserves out of the ground and burn them so quickly that we're returning all of this gaseous pollution into the atmosphere. And that's making the planet significantly warmer and melting the ice and causing all the changes that the scientists have warned us against.
I set myself a goal. Communicate this real clearly. The only way I know to do it is city by city. Person by person. Family by family. And I have faith that pretty soon enough minds are changed that we cross a threshold.
Is it reversible? Because you know and you completely understand this stuff. Can we really make a difference?
We can reverse some of the harm that's been done. Some of the changes will continue to occur no matter what we do. But the worst of the damage is still avoidable. And for example, the melting of the Arctic North Polar ice cap is something that we should really avoid doing. And the scientists tell us we do still have a chance to avoid doing that. And so we should exercise due care to stop turning the Earth's thermostat up. You know, the planet has a fever. And if you have a baby with a fever, you go to the doctor. But this is the beginning of an ongoing process that will take all the way across the goal line. And the goal line is to push the whole world past a point of awareness and commitment so that we actually do solve this crisis.
And you think we can?
I do. I'm convinced we can. First of all, we have to.
Yeah, we haven't got a choice. We want to be here.
And we're capable of it. It is a moral issue, and when people connect to that, everyone feels a deep love for and sense of obligation to the next generation and those who come after. It's our only home.
We already know everything we need to know to effectively address this problem.
So what can we do to be part of the solution? Is there pressure that we need to put on our governments? Are there things that we should buy? What is it? What can we do?
Being an environmentally aware consumer in the marketplace and selecting appliances, for example, or whatever you buy, with an awareness of the less polluting alternatives, being conscious of
most people don't know.
Businesses and government can give more information so that you can make choices that are more informed. Learning about it and becoming more aware of what you can do in your own work and in your own lives, and then becoming active as citizens to become part of the critical mass of public opinion necessary to embolden the leaders in all parties and in all sectors of society to be a part of the solution.
Well, Mr. Gore, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you
so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
And I have to say, you always start your lecture with, I used to be the next president. Could you be the next president?
I don't have plans to run for president again.
Well, we think you'd be pretty cool.
That's very nice of you to say. I appreciate that. But I'm involved in a different kind of campaign, and that is to spread awareness and to build a commitment worldwide.
Thank you for doing that.
Thanks so much for the interview. I loved it. Thank you.
Well, if Al Gore tells June he's not going to run for president, I believe him, because no one lies to June. No one. Recently, I travelled to the northernmost town in the world, Longyearbyen in Norway, just a few hundred miles from the North Pole, to meet the Cape Farewell Youth Expedition. After 10 days on a boat in freezing temperatures, our 12 teenagers from Germany, Canada and the UK are arriving back at port, having seen for themselves the impact that climate change is having in the Arctic. Hi! Nice hats! It's actually only so long you can wave for without feeling like an idiot. I kind of want to stop waving, but I feel like that's maybe rude. Can I get a whoop whoop? Whoop whoop! Jump! It doesn't matter how many times you say jump, I'm not going to jump, I promise. It's got disaster written all over it, hasn't it? I'm in the boat, I'm in the boat. Come on, hug, let's hug it out. There we go. Everyone in. Oh, God, it's warmer like this. It's much warmer, I like it. I'm here on their boat. Finally, I'm on the boat, and I am well chuffed. But I'm not just here to man the wheel and fiddle with the rigging. I'm going to grab some quality time with the kids and find out the full scoop on their Arctic adventures. For the past 10 days, our 12 teenagers have been performing various scientific experiments to see how climate change is affecting the Arctic.
Yeah, it's a big, bright, beautiful world.
So, Shona, Amy, let's dive straight in. Did you see any polar bears?
Oh, yes, we did.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Oh, yeah, I got it!
Oh, wow! And what about the hard labour side of living on a boat, the rigging and putting up the sails and mopping the decks, all that kind of business?
Well, we didn't have to mop the decks.
Why not?
We did have to hoist the sails up.
Raising the sails is way harder than it looks. It's very tiring.
It takes 4 of you to just pull one rope and you're
It's only a bit of cloth though, isn't it, really?
We'll have to get you to do it.
Really?
It's really heavy.
What was the best thing about the trip?
When we were doing our art project on the beach, we saw the glacier actually fall. What got to me is the noise it makes before it falls.
Does it sound like it's
cracks.
screaming in pain?
Yeah, it really does, and it's like a big thunder, like it cracks and just fills the air.
It fell into the sea and then a ginormous black piece of glacier came up.
We watched it fall and we were like, no, the waves are not going to reach us. And then like about 2 minutes later, we had to run from the waves.
Please come away from the ice!
Leo! Move! That ice gets picked up and hits you, it's going to hurt. Come back here, Amelie, now! Amelie, move! Look at the waves going. Look at the ice, look at the ice. Look, see it's going right into the ice.
That was the most emotional bit, I think, and it really touched home and got me thinking about what I'm doing and our society and our role to preserve this earth.
Guiding them through the complexities of global warming has been Professor Mark Maslin, an expert in climatology. So Mark, you just got back from the trip, how was it?
It was absolutely fantastic. The kids were brilliant, and they actually saw climate change actually happening in front of them.
So we've got to talk cold, hard facts. I'm a bit nervous to do so. But, you know, I'm looking out here, I can see, obviously, the mountains beyond the sea. I can see the glaciers in between the mountains. But those glaciers are retreating.
It's actually going back at a rate of knots. I mean, some of it's retreating 2 meters a day. If we look at sort of the records of the sea ice has retreated further this summer than it's ever retreated before.
And will that sea ice grow back come winter?
Well, the problem is that so much ice has melted that the ocean underneath heats up. And because it's heating up, it means that it won't allow the sea ice to come back as far. So no, this winter they won't come back as far as they were last winter. And each successive warm summer will mean the ice will keep going back and back and back.
I've learned so much from this trip and it's really meant a lot to me, and I'm looking forward to going home and telling everyone about it, and I really want to make a difference in my community with my friends and family.
And what sort of scale are we talking about here? How much ice is melting?
Well, I think one of the scary facts this summer is an area twice the size of the British Isles melted in just 1 week.
So if this ice continues to melt at this rate, what could happen here in the next 25 years?
Well, some scientists are actually really worried that we could have almost an ice-free Arctic in the summer in 25 years' time. And we haven't seen that for probably the last 50 million years.
That's incredible. And what's the knock-on effect? I mean, I assume that, yeah, it's very much a global problem. So, and if the ice is melting here in the summer, what's happening to the rest of the world? What's happening to the UK?
Well, the big problem is, at the moment, because you have lots of white snow, it reflects lots of sunlight back out to space. If we lose that, suddenly the land here heats up. And so, of course, global warming is going to accelerate, and so that means it's going to be worse for Britain. So we're going to see more floods, we're going to see more droughts, we're going to see more heat waves.
It's easy just to listen to someone you don't know ramble on about climate change, but going on this trip and going back to our communities, it's a bit more personal and they listen a bit more.
So is it all doom and gloom, or do we have the power actually to change things, to change the way that we do certain things to avert this crisis?
Well, I'm an optimist. I believe in humanity. I think we can really change our ways.
So you're very much an Arctic half-full type of man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think we can definitely do something about it. And that's why the kids are so important, because they're the ones that are going to be leading this challenge.
So what can I do, Mark?
Well, you can start cycling to work, you can fly less, you can change your bulbs, but more importantly, you can actually lobby the government to say, change how we get energy, change how we actually get consumer goods, and how we actually deal with other countries and get them to change their ways as well. It's partly us, and it's going to be partly them.
So if you were going to sum up the experience of the trip in one word, what would it be?
Emotional.
Magical.
I'd probably say sublime.
I'd say life-changing. Unforgettable.
It was absolutely amazing. I've never seen anything like it before. There was just glaciers and mountains. It was absolutely gorgeous.
In 25 years, I want my children and my grandchildren to be able to experience this and feel the emotions I felt coming here, and I don't want it to be totally lost because it's so beautiful. I really think that change needs to happen.
The Cape Fair World Trip's had an obvious effect on the kids, and just talking to them about what they've seen and what they've learnt and what they want to do differently when they get home has made me realise that there are things that we can do to tackle global warming. We need to wake up and smell the ice melting, and it's not enough to just think, oh, it's sad about the Arctic, isn't it, and the rising sea levels. There's nothing I can do about it, because of course there is. It's not even difficult. Small, simple changes in our lives can help. So whilst the end of the world isn't nigh, we do need to act now if we're going to preserve our beautiful planet. And she is a beauty. Look at her. All the other planets fancy her. Jupiter's always asking her out on dates. Mars writes her love letters. Less said about Neptune, the better. Right, I'm going to try and cycle home. Shouldn't take me more than a few weeks.
So, did you manage to cycle back?
Let me tell you about it, June. Unfortunately, I got a puncture just outside Barnsley and I hadn't packed my repair kit, which was a real shame, given that I made it all the way across the North Sea just wearing a reflective vest and carrying an inner tube.
If you say so.
I
don't believe a word of it. Anyway, after the break, I'll be finding out how fashion can be stylish and eco-friendly.
And I'll be travelling to West Africa to meet a man who's helping a whole country counter the effects of climate change by making rain.
Whatever you do and wherever you are, look out for new and better ways to reduce waste and save energy.
iGo by Toyota sponsors T4.
It's your chance to play the Top of the Pops interactive DVD game, the essential music quiz for all the family. All you need is your DVD remote control for the greatest music experience. Loads of questions and music from 5 decades of classic pop. The Top of the Pops DVD game. Play it this Christmas. Out now.
Must-have gadgets now have a must-have battery to power them. Energizer Lithium. If your digital camera can take 90 photos using ordinary alkaline batteries, then Energizer Lithium will let you take 600. Energizer Lithium. It's what's inside that counts.
We're there's shopping mall, there's shopping mall. Things that are small, pops, big and tall. Where's Chinese food? There's Chinese food. Spicy chicken wing, chicken almond ding. Ding dong. Traffic's a mess, there's no distress. Find a new way with no delay. Bluetooth is on, call the salon. Need a waxing now, got a unibrow. Give a garment. Give a garment. Screen clear and wide, whole world inside.
What about a nice soap set? She'd like that.
Let's go like a mug.
We bought that last year.
Did we?
Yeah.
Who wants this bit? Can I have it?
I'll have it. Anti-wrinkle cream.
I think she'd be a bit offended.
Some gloves?
Boring.
I know. A torch.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
Nice try, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least Pizza Hut's new larger 4 for all makes one decision easy. 4 pizzas in one keeps everyone happy.
Nothing can come between Cocoa Pops and milk.
Cocoa Pops and milk make a bowl full of fun.
Pick me.
No, pick me.
I'm the cutest.
No way. I'm the cutest.
I know you can't resist these eyes.
Why choose when you can play with all of them? With dogs too and cats too. And now play with dolphins with Dolphin Island on Nintendo DS.
Yeah, so I was thinking perhaps if we went during the Easter holidays. I mean, that would be lovely.
Stop it!
Because I've got something to do. Very good. So, second week of March will suit us better, and then that ties in with half term.
Good things should never end. That's why at Orange we now offer unlimited free text to any network at any time with Orange Pay As You Go.
It was meant to be the hottest curry house in town.
We wanted to create something that had a bit of a wow factor.
It looks ghastly.
This is a first for me, turning around an Indian restaurant.
That looks like a large pair of knickers.
Who went out and saw this idea in a restaurant and thought, this is amazing?
All new Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. Tuesday at 9 on 4.
iGo by Toyota. Sponsors T4.
Did you know that one rubbish bin in 1 year contains enough potential energy to power your TV for 6 whole months? So recycle. Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to T4's Global Warning. Climate change is affecting the whole planet, and if current trends continue, things will only get worse, as unpredictable weather patterns could dramatically alter the way we live. Some of the hardest hit places are in the developing world, where many lives rely on rain-fed agriculture, and large numbers live in low-lying coastal areas vulnerable to flooding. But it's not all bad. I went to Mali in West Africa to see a very different approach to tackling the effects of climate change. We need to act now if we're going to preserve our planet, so I've come to Africa to meet a man they call the Rainmaker, a scientist who may well hold the key to saving some of the world's most beautiful places. Mali, Indonesia, Kenya, Luton. I'm in Mali in the heart of West Africa. It's the 7th largest country on the continent and one of the poorest. It's got a population of 13 million, 2 million of whom live right here in the hustle and bustle of the capital, Bamako. You might think that the capital city of one of the world's poorest countries would be pretty horrible and depressing. With Bamako, you'd be wrong. With its natural beauty and rich history, in recent years Mali has grown as a tourist hotspot. But this is all under threat due to the unpredictable weather patterns caused caused by climate change. One of its many attractions is its vibrant music scene, which has drawn the likes of Damon Albarn and Norman Cook. There are many wonders to be found on the streets of Bamako. So I'm playing a game which I'm about to buy for my friend here. I think I'm trying to collect stones. I'm not entirely sure. This is very tense. Yes! I've just won 4 stones. I don't really know how I did it. Well, I've lost. It's a good game, it's a good game. OK, maybe I should stick to a game that I know. Football. It doesn't matter where in the world you are, you can always find a kickabout. And I should point out that I only look rubbish because I'm wearing flip-flops. Whilst this is an amazing place fizzing with energy, colour, humour, drivers with a rather liberal approach to the highway code, like so many African countries, Mali has been really suffering the effects of global warming. And I can tell you, it is hot. Mali's problem has been its utter reliance on rain, which has been in seriously short supply. 65% of its land is either desert or semi-desert, due to several prolonged periods of drought. The Malians have hit upon a possible solution. He is Dr. Roloff Brownchez, a South African scientist with a rather unusual job. He's helping to make the clouds produce this much-needed rain. Yes, he's a rainmaker. And I've come to meet him. So why is it so important to be cloud seeding here in Mali?
Mali is one of those countries that border the Sahara, and many of these countries bordering the Sahara have a high variability in rainfall. Their basic sustenance of life, their agriculture, is depending on rainfall. If they don't have rainfall,
people can't eat, they can't export.
No eating, no exporting. The rainy season is starting later and later, so we are looking into the feasibility of maybe enhancing the rain. We cannot make clouds, we cannot chase away clouds, but we can try to get more of that water down to the surface.
So Roloff, I take it you're not the sort of old school rainmaker dancing and chanting at the skies. What is it you do?
We basically put particles in clouds. Every droplet ice crystal forms on a particle, and depending on what nature provides, we can determine what is better particles to get the rain process more effectively and get more of the water from the cloud down to the surface.
OK, so that's the key, really. The water's all up there, just getting it down as rain. And you're putting in these particles that the water droplets grow on until they're big enough to fall as rain. That's the idea. So how do you actually go about putting these particles into the clouds?
We use aircraft to do that. And on the aircraft we have flares. It's like fireworks. And then we burn these flares on the wings. They produce the particles, and so we fly beneath the cloud, let the particles go into the cloud, or we go through the top.
So quite unusually, what you're doing is actually flying planes through the clouds where it's most turbulent. Have you had any very hairy experiences up there?
There's been a lot of hairy experiences, and every penetration is new. There's some clouds I would not go in again if I'd known what was in them.
Now, what I would love, Roloff, is to go and have a crack at this seeding business myself. Would you trust me?
I would trust you. You're very welcome. Let's go up in the plane so you can see firsthand.
Hang on. I'll go and check out the plane first, if I may.
As long as you're ready for the bumps, it's fine with me.
So where's the plane that we're actually going to go up seeding in then, Roloff?
The plane is right here.
This one?
Yeah, this one.
It's tiny!
Well, it's tiny because
we... bumpy clouds in this?
The smaller the plane, the better. To be thrown around in the clouds so
you
we can
get
get the real measurements.
I've built bigger planes out of Lego.
But this is the real experience.
Fine. Let's get in.
We could cut our yearly CO2 emissions by 3 million tonnes if we could all reduce the amount of rubbish going into our bins by just 10%.
Mali's biggest agricultural export is cotton, much of which is used in fashion. The textile industry is massive, with consumers spending a whopping $1 trillion worldwide on clothes every year. All this production can come at a massive cost. But things are changing, and it doesn't mean we all have to wear the same scratchy old sack. We all love fashion, but fashion designers and shops are increasingly under the spotlight for the negative impact the industry is having on the planet. And it's made me think about the impact I'm having and what the alternatives are. Is it possible to be eco-friendly and still remain stylish? At this year's London Fashion Week, a group of designers celebrated the first anniversary of eco-fashion stable Aesthetica, a group who are trying to change the way we see sustainable fashion. One of them is British fashion designer Catherine Hamnett, who's notched up over 40 years in the industry.
The fashion industry is the third largest industry in the world. One of the largest industries in the world has to do something radical about addressing its impact on the environment. Everybody in this area, though they're small brands, are trying to do clothes ethically and environmentally.
I take second-hand clothing and I recycle it and create couture-inspired ball gowns, wedding dresses, or high-fashion occasion wear. People have always worn their heart on their sleeve, and currently ethical fashion and clothing is causing a major trend in the global fashion market.
There's a few pieces in the range that are organic cotton and hemp, but the main majority of the collection is recycled.
I think ethical clothing traditionally had a sort of stigma attached to it, being very sort of hippie and hemp-like, but now it's sort of really moving forward.
I think a lot of people have regarded environmentally friendly clothing as being a bit of a kind of sackcloth, you know, a bit hippie. Certainly for someone like myself with a public job in Parliament, impossible for me to wear those kind of clothes.
Now we can really find, as people in the fashion industry, conscious people, eco-wear that we can feel good about wearing, but also as, again, be soft and beautiful and feel good instead of scratchy hemp wear.
You can be so glamorous. I think I don't see why, you know, there's this stigma against eco-sustainable design.
Generally, people want to know where their clothes come from, same way they want to know where their banana comes from.
It's not only exclusive designers who are producing sustainable clothing, the high street is also in on the act. And I've come to one of the latest stores to add an eco range to their collection. As one of the UK's leading fashion brands, Topshop has embraced sustainable fashion by introducing eco and fair trade label People Tree to their stores. And the woman behind the label is Safia Mini. So, Safia, why did you decide to start an eco-friendly line?
I think first it's an extension of being a green consumer, because I couldn't find anything at all that just like ticked the boxes in terms of fair trade and environment.
Yeah.
Everything out there was just kind of really kind of frumpy and hempy and not very nice.
So what is the ethos of People Tree?
Well, the ethos is, you know, obviously making a profit so you can sustain the activities, but it's about, you know, people and the environment.
OK, well, let's have a look at some of this fashion.
Sure. Well, this is an organic cotton piece, June, and this is very much kind of autumn-winter styling, just a beautiful big cowl on it.
It's an amazing colour, but obviously one of the biggest pollutants in terms of fashion is the dye that's used in fabric.
You're right.
So
yeah.
what dye do you use and how do you make sure it doesn't, you know, damage
firstly,
the environment?
Even though this is a chemical dye, this is the lowest impact chemical dye that you can get. You can dye with natural dyes too, but you won't get this kind of bright colour. It will be tea-coloured and, you know.
So with organic clothing, does it cost more, i.e. the same as organic food, costs more than non-organic food?
I mean, generally, for a piece like this, you would probably be paying a premium of about maybe 30%, sometimes 50% more than kind of fast fashion.
Yes.
But actually, when you compare it with, you know, what's there in the high street in terms of boutique fashion, and the quality, you know, you're actually getting a fantastic value for money.
So if you're doing this and making really cool, fabulous pieces, why isn't everyone doing it?
Well, I think it's about consumer pressure as well, you know, so it's, you know, it's not enough to just assume that, you know, the high street retailers care about these issues. They don't necessarily care. It's about, you know, you and I when we're shopping, just,
demanding
you know,
it.
Exactly.
Fabulous. Well, this stuff looks gorgeous. I think I'm going to try on a few bits. Definitely the green, don't you think?
Yeah, that's very you.
Love that. This is my favourite. I think it's my favourite in the whole collection.
It's cute, isn't it?
It's cute, huh?
Great.
See you in a moment.
Can't wait to see you in them. Wow.
Oh, this is amazing.
That's gorgeous.
Isn't
That's so
it?
good on you.
I love it, love it, love it.
That's beautiful.
I think this is my favourite piece.
Can you give us a twat?
Of course.
That looks just great on you. Really, June. Fantastic. And it's so you.
And I think, you know what, a really good example that eco-fashion can still be really stylish. Yeah. Love it, love it, love it. How bad?
It's great.
Bad. So the old misconception that eco-friendly clothes can't be fashionable is most definitely wrong. With more and more high street stores stocking up on sustainable fashion, there's plenty of choice out there. So it's up to us, the consumer, to make sure that the fashion industry really does clean up its environmental act. Remember, the one thing they will listen to is our spending power.
Recycle your old clothes. Just take them to a charity shop instead of throwing them away. They could make the perfect outfit for someone else.
It's getting easier and easier to make sustainable choices by buying eco-fashion. And don't throw your old clothes away, please.
Exactly. Tons of clothes end up in landfill each year, along with millions of plastic bags, some taking up to 400 years to decompose. So do your bit. Either recycle them, or better still, don't use them at all.
Still to come after the break, I try and help out with Marley's drought problems by becoming a real-life rainmaker.
The energy we save by recycling 1 ton of paper can power up one house for 1 whole year.
iGo by Toyota sponsors T4.
Big labels, big gifts, small prices. TK Maxx.
You're going to destroy Springfield!
Dad, do something!
Lives will be lost.
Go on.
People will perish.
It's really the same thing.
And Schwarzenegger will be president.
I was elected to lead, not to read.
The Simpsons movie on DVD Monday.
Oh, look, a pig wearing a hat!
With unlimited access to 1 million songs from Vodafone, you'll always find the right one.
As soon as I wake up, any night, any day, I know that it's you I need to take the blues away. It must be love, 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 nothing more.
Vodafone. Make the most of now.
This Christmas, some unexpected guests are dropping in.
Oh, my.
And you never know who's gonna pop up next.
Wow, Dad.
Oh, my gosh. Walt Disney Pictures presents the motion picture event of the Christmas season.
You've met your match, Beast! Are you crazy? Nobody stabs my bus.
Enchanted.
You're my everything. You're my
Darling, my fragrance.
Now discover Sweet Darling by Kylie Minogue.
New on Disney DVD.
It's showtime!
The musical phenomenon that's the must-have gift this Christmas.
Yes!
It's even more sensational on DVD.
All for one and one for all.
With brand new bonus features, including a never-before-seen song. High School Musical 2 Extended Edition. The perfect gift only on Disney DVD now. Think you know all the moves? Now put them to the test. Get your head in the game with the High School Musical DVD game. Out now to play.
It's always time to play Jupe Go, the new fragrance for men.
So, from the quarterly figures, we see that
the more I see you, the more I want you.
If you've only got one thing on your mind before lunch, you should try new Special K Sustain.
Just girls and girls.
Delicious new Special K Sustain contains protein and fibre. See if it can keep you satisfied for longer. New Special K Sustain. It's called special for a reason.
Every year, millions of people suffer from the horror of faintly disappointing Christmas gifts.
Why? It's ever so sad. You can see that my eyes have gone all weepy in that. Look.
It doesn't have to be this way.
Visit oxfamunwrapped.com and choose one of many unusual gifts, like tools for farmers, fertilizer, the gift of dung, or even a loo for a community in poverty.
Give a loo to the world.
Digital switch over is coming.
Igo by Toyota sponsors T4.
Turning the tap off when brushing your teeth saves 6 liters of water every minute. If we all remembered to do this, we'd save 200 million liters a day in the UK alone.
Welcome back to T4's Global Warning. So far we've seen how climate change is melting the polar ice caps and how the little changes that we make to our lifestyles now can minimise increases in future global warming. I went to Mali in West Africa, where one big man in a very small plane is having a huge impact.
As we prepare to take on a very turbulent-looking sky in this tiny plane, I'll say it again, it's tiny, I'm hopefully going to join Dr. Roloff Brownchez in becoming a bona fide rainmaker by seeding some clouds.
Charlie Mega 102, good afternoon, go ahead.
The rain created by Roloff and his team is desperately needed here. Current predictions state that within 25 years, Mali could have 100 millimetres less rain per year. That's the equivalent of all of the UK's May rainfall.
So, we're climbing up now, smooth takeoff. How high are we going to go today?
Well, first of all, we're going to go up to the height of the cloud base, which usually is about a kilometre and a half above the ground.
Okay, so we'll have a little look around the bottom of the cloud.
And then we're going to have a look around, are they good clouds, bad clouds?
We're looking for clouds that are suitable for kind of growing into rain clouds.
Exactly.
Okay, so although within these clouds all the water is there, it's just not falling down because it's not forming big enough droplets.
Exactly, that's the whole principle.
So I noticed you've got quite the box of tricks here, Roloff. Screens, graphs, numbers. What are you measuring?
Everything is recorded on the screen, and every second we get an update. So I know what every second I know what's going on outside the aircraft. In terms of turbulence, in terms of...
I can feel in terms of turbulence what's happening right now, actually.
That'll show up in this little variable over
I
here.
don't need to look at it.
The volatile weather patterns caused by climate change are having devastating effects in Mali. With 3/4 of the population dependent on agriculture to survive, the rain contained in these very clouds can help to save lives.
These clouds are here because air is coming from the surface and going up in.
So the hot air is rising and
that's right.
It's
and that's
like an
droplets are
updraft.
forming. So we're going to fly underneath them, and that's where we want to put our particles so they go up in these clouds.
So that's where we're gonna spread our seed.
So you can select one of those clouds. You know, I don't want any fluffy.
No. Fluffy's out the window. We're looking for one to look a bit angry. It'll already look a bit angry, and I'm going to make them really angry with my seed. Where are the angry clouds? They're quite friendly looking, aren't they? Never this fella.
No.
How about this guy?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't think so.
We parked at the hangar.
Okay.
Hey, Rick, we're getting up to some clouds that we're going to do some seeding. You want to push the buttons, do the seeding?
Me?
So at least you can claim some...
I'd love it.
Why don't you hop up front?
Out by the pilot?
Next to the pilot. But please don't fly the plane.
I might get overexcited. I'm a bit nervous. Okay, I'm going to go and do it.
To produce the droplets, we're going to be firing salt crystals into the clouds. But this is an unpredictable science, and not every mission ends in rainfall.
Okay, first of all you switch the button on and then you push the button. And then as you push one button, you forward it to the next flare, or the next flare that will burn additional particles.
Okay, so I'm flicking this guy, That'll do one, then I turn it to 2, then I do another. Tell me when. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yes, burning. Woo! There she goes! There's one gone. Ah! Then I'll do another one, right up. Number 2. Yes, there he goes. And that cloud. It's getting angrier. Feel the cloud getting angry. You're gonna rain. Great, great job. Thank you very much. We're gonna make a storm today. There's my flares, burning away. While they're burning, they're putting a lot of particles out there. And then we're making the clouds angrier, we're growing water droplets, we're gonna make a storm. I mean, I'm gonna make a storm. The storm is there already, we're just gonna make it more efficient. How'd I do? You did great. I'm just monitoring all the measurements in the back here. We got a large amount of particles in the atmosphere. The droplet concentrations are high, which should be good for the seeding. Am I lucky, John? You are. It seems like we're getting good measurements, so this is a good flight. I'm genuinely chuffed. I'm really excited. No, this is great. There's some exciting data, so things are really developing. Perfect.
Cloud seeding has begun to show some positive results here in Mali, with the government pumping £2.8 million into projects like this. And the success here has seen Roloff and his team in demand on 5 continents across the globe.
Wow. Honestly, that was amazing, Roloff. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Thank you very much indeed. I think it was a successful mission. Wow, this is it. Fingers crossed it will rain. Come on, big guy. Come on. Come in. Let's hug it out. I went up in the plane, I fired the seeds into the clouds, and look, it's only raining. It's actually raining. My rain. Obviously, I don't know if these droplets are actually the ones that I created, but it doesn't matter. It's raining. This isn't special effects. This is real rain. And it's actual rain that Mali needs. And that's why it's projects like this that can help us combat the effects of global warming over the next 25 years.
Wow, proof there that just one person can make a huge difference. 25 years ago, we had no idea of the danger our planet was facing. Now it's in our faces every day. It's everywhere. It's on the news, it's in the papers, it's on the internet. And if we don't act now, the forecast could be very different in another 25 years. It's not just up to politicians, scientists, and big businesses. We all have the power to change the world. It's up to every single one of us.
The energy we save by recycling 1 ton of paper can power up to 1 house for 1 year.
Recycle. Check the labels on clothes before you buy, and if they come from more than 1,000 miles away, keep looking.
A quarter of the UK's total carbon emissions are caused by transport alone, so get on your bike. If you hit the road on 2 wheels, not 4, you'll travel carbon-free.
Congratulations! You are all pastry chefs!
Yeah! Congratulations! You are all World War I historical recreationists!
Yay!
Uh-oh.
Big Brother wants you. The Big Brother 9 audition tour is coming to a city near you. The remaining auditions are Birmingham, Glasgow, Newcastle and London. For more information on how to become a Big Brother 9 housemate next summer, go to channel4.com/bigbrother.
They're back. They've traveled the globe, and now
they're ready to party.
Over 50 outrageous games in Rayman Raving Rabbids 2. Available now.
Rimmel London's new lasting finish intense wear lipstick. Now up to 50% more colour and 8 hours wear.
Get the London look.
With new lasting finish from Rimmel London. Get a free Christmas palette worth £15, only at Boots, from Rimmel London.
Good things should never end. That's why at Orange we now offer unlimited free text to any network at any time with Orange Pay As You Go.
Against speed. Against instability. Against darkness. View what's real. Beauty. New from LG.
Intimately beckon night, then you fragrance for him and for her.
Welcome back to T4 Sunday. The Simpsons is up in a few minutes, but first it's time for some cartoon fun of a different kind. Legendary funny man Jerry Seinfeld has been out of the game for a few years, but he's back with a new animated movie which he wrote, produced and stars in, called B-Movie. Having spent so much time dedicated to a project, you think he'd be interested in discussing the inner psyche of bees. Oh no, Makita found out quite the opposite. Take a look.
Jerry Seinfeld, welcome to T4.
Thank you, Makita. Nice to be with you.
Lovely to meet you. Let's talk the B-movie. Barry, lovely bee. He always seems like he wants more. What is it in him that makes him want so much more?
He's just like you.
Totally.
He's just like you.
Right?
Just looking for a little more. Want to be street, but don't want to get beat.
Wow. Can I use that as my life motto?
Sure,
That's great.
yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what is it in him that makes him want so much more?
It's just a cartoon bee. There's nothing in him. Let's not get too heavy here.
Okay.
You are way out of position, rookie.
It's coming in at you like a missile!
No! You know, I don't think these are flowers.
No!
Should we tell him? I think he knows.
What is this? He does abandon the hive, falls for a lady.
Yes.
And then you know, she embraces him, and then he sort of turns on humans as a whole species and decides to sue them all.
Yes.
Why doesn't he just chill?
I love the story of this movie. It's so ridiculous.
Why doesn't he just chill?
Well, what kind of a story would that be, Makita?
Totally.
Where would we
Totally.
be? Would we be sitting on these $100 million grosses if you tell a story about a bee that just doesn't want a damn thing?
That just chills. The
just
chilling
chills,
bee.
Yeah, the chilling bee. No.
That wouldn't
You'd
work.
be back on the street. getting beat.
If you were in his position, would you have taken it as far? Jerry as a man?
I believe I did. I don't know if you've seen the names atop of the title, but...
Of course, yeah, you're the brains behind the operation.
Why is this here?
For people. We eat it.
Why? You don't have enough food of your own?
Well, yes.
How do you even get it?
Well, bees make it.
I know who makes it, and it's hard to make it.
Obviously, produce and star in the film. Why have you decided this to be your first big thing out there for a while? Why this project?
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Gotta do something.
Yeah.
You know, my thing is comedy. I love... That's the only thing I really like. So if I was gonna make a movie, I thought the cartoon world would be fun to write.
So we would never see Jerry Seinfeld do some sort of dark underground obscure
I don't.
kind of
I
thing.
really
That's just not
couldn't-
your bag.
Couldn't be bothered.
You
Yeah.
can't be bothered to try and
Yeah.
win some sort of Oscar.
Yeah, I mean, what for what?
Yeah.
In
Exactly,
terms
you've
of-
got your awards.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've got him up the yin-yang.
Okay. A lot of
I'm
amazing
just here having a bit of fun, a bit of a laugh, a bit of a lark.
Just keep still.
What? You're not dead?
Do I look dead? Hey, man, they will wipe anything that moves. Now, where you headed?
To Honey Farms. I am onto something huge here.
I'm going to Alaska. Moose blood. Crazy stuff. Blows your head off.
Loads of people in the film, Renee Zellweger, Oprah Winfrey, John Goodman, Chris Rock, Matthew Broderick. Apparently, this is a quote, tell me if it's completely disgusting rumor, that you said, I can call anybody and they'll consider it. Is that the kind of almost power you have?
Once you're in the club,
Yeah.
as we say, this is one of the advantages of club membership.
Right.
Is you can call other club members
Okay.
and say, hey, look, we're both in the club. Would you like to come to this little party we're having?
Right.
You see?
That's such a nice way to think about it.
Yeah.
Right.
No different from the crew you roll with.
My crew doesn't have Oprah and Steven Spielberg, though.
No, of course not.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll see if I
What
can
do you
make...
think about these Americans that come over here and affect the English accents? Some of these actresses, I mean, Renee.
Completely.
Phenomenal, right?
Because it's not even posh English she does. She does London.
Yeah.
Which is tricky.
So what does that make you feel? Like you're just an act?
I guess so.
Let me tell you why we all think it's phony, the Americans. Because the Beatles, when they sing, there's no accent.
So we're putting on the act?
Yeah. It's a puppet show. Your whole country's a puppet show.
Well, this film's going to do well here after this interview goes out. You're going to be loved. Joe, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lovely to meet you.
Nice
thank
to
you
meet
for cussing my people.
And England baiting Jerry Seinfeld there, live and loud with our wannabe street, don't want to get beat Makita. From one animated adventure now to another. Homer gets fired, nearly causes a nuclear war, but saves the day with an earring. See, it really does pay to accessorize. Here's The Simpsons.